Sabu. I don't think Sabu understood the referee's instructions about Olympic rules. I'm waiting for Alan Foote to pop out front of the ring.
222 pounds, this is Sabu!
Referee Pee Wee Moore keeping the two apart. He's actually going to try to enforce this matchup like an Olympic rules. He wants Sabu in the down position. Well, thank heaven. I guess the NCAA couldn't make it. So ECW is sending their own official. John, explain the rules to 911. He's not listening, is he? John, if you check your rule book, that's a takedown. That's 2 points. Now, if John could roll out of the ring, he'd get 1 point for an escape. But that doesn't appear to be happening now, does it? 2 more points for 911. That's another takedown.
Style wrestling, boy. I want to see a fight. I'm the referee.
Well, 911 takes the place of Pee Wee Moore, and we've got a good old-fashioned ECW brawl. Now remember, Olympic rules prevail. Heck, let me get my Olympic rules book out here so I can keep score. Sabu chases Cactus outside, negative point for Cactus. Sabu up and over. That's a negative point for Sabu. I believe we're tied at -1 apiece. Feel free to keep score at home, I don't mind. Referee 911 outside with both men. No doubt reading over the Olympic rules. Sabu back in the ring, followed by Cactus. Striking by Sabu. Another -2 points. -3. -4. That's a takedown. We'll give him 2. He's back to a -2. Somebody get me a calculator. More striking by Sabu. That'll result in negative points. Kick to the face. One count only. Sabu continuing to strike Cactus Jack in flagrant violation of the Olympic rules. Sabu with the chair now. Here comes Air Sabu. Ooh, elbow to the mouth. Negative point for Cactus. How many negative points is a chair shot? I can't find it. Ooh. Page 24, no. Don't know how that comes into play. Double arm DDT. That's a near fall. 1, 2, 2 count only. 3 points for Cactus. Double arm DDT on the chair. That's gonna be negative points. Cover. 2 once again. Elbow in the back of the head, Sabu to the outside. More negative points for Cactus. Both men now in negative double digits. Cactus drops the chair on Sabu. Cactus now all over Sabu. Right into the guardrail. Cactus unloading on Sabu. Biting away on Sabu's forehead. Sabu fires back. Chair to the back. Sabu at the chair once again. Back towards the ring. Move to the midsection, no. Cactus cuts it off, elbow to the face. Headbutt. Cactus misses the Cactus clothesline, and that's how he lost half an ear in Germany. Jack in dire straits. Air Sabu. Cactus man lost his other ear. And just like that, the tide has turned. Cactus is in big trouble. Sabu misses, catches the chair in his own ribs. Table on top of Sabu. Cactus still reaching for his ear. Now, if he had been wearing his official Olympic headgear, that wouldn't have happened. Both men looking worse for wear right now. Sabu face first into the timekeeper's table and that tag team title belt. Cactus setting up the table. And he clotheslines Sabu. Sabu in a very unenviable position, to say the least, at present. There's Cactus going. Sabu off the chair. Off the table, chair to the midsection. Cactus to the floor. Did you hear that thud? Sabu with the chair again. Keep your eye on Sabu. Oh my God! Cactus Jack's head ricocheted off the steel guardrail. Like a good official, 911 on the outside to make sure no one is dead. Boot to the face. Snapmare. And another kick to the face. Sabu going in after another chair. Another snapmare takes Cactus over. Chair right to the face, but Sabu caught it in the ribs as well. It seems Sabu has more scars on his body every time we see him. Makes you wonder what he does on his off nights. A fist right to that ear. Headbutt. Sabu spills to the floor. Chair to the head. Cactus with the forearm. Sabu blocks the turnbuckle. That one hit. Sabu goes downstairs. Oh my God, through the table! Sabu with the high cross body through the table! And once again, Olympic rules referee 911 goes to ringside. To make sure we don't need paramedics. Well, 911 said he wanted to see a fight. That's exactly what we've had. Sabu and Cactus both clawing and inching their way to the ring. Inside cradle by Cactus. 1, 2, and no. 2 count only. Chair to the face. Sabu's knee caught the chair, and Cactus caught it in the nose. Both men retreated to opposite corners. Cactus now all over Sabu. Cactus really upset now. Cactus misses the leg drop. Sabu can barely stand. Going up top of the chair. Cactus cuts him off. Ooh, chair to the face. Chair over the head. Again. Sabu dragging Cactus towards the corner. Sabu going up top of the chair. Atomic Arabian Face Buster. And you fans are witnessing Olympic wrestling history. To my knowledge, that's the first time that move has been executed in Olympic wrestling. 2, 2 7/8. Cactus kicks out. Sabu It's on. 1, 2, 3. He got him. He got him. Cactus couldn't kick out again. Sabu got the pinfall, but both men took a beating.
13 minutes, 38 seconds. The winner of the Olympic rules match, Sabu!
Sabu wins the Olympic rules match to conclude the Holiday Hell Tour and Extreme Championship Wrestling's New York City debut here at the Lost Battalion Hall, Friday night, December 29th, 1995. This is Joey Styles for everyone here at ECW saying thanks for joining us here. We'll see you next time. Sabu, a long-time favorite here at ECW. Should be an outstanding matchup between he and Van Dam. As we alluded to, Van Dam wrestling with a broken wrist. Sabu wrestling with a broken something. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you can bet something is fractured or cracked on the man.
One fall to a positive finish, no time limit. Introducing first, in the corner to my right, from Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing in at 234 pounds, Rob Van Dam.
You may have guessed Rob Van Dam with an excellent extensive martial arts background.
His opponent from Bombay, India, weighing in at 222 pounds, the one, the only, Sabu!
Who has an extensive background in insanity. Sabu diving at the legs. Van Dam so quick on his feet, though. That's one way to keep him from getting your feet. Sabu finally gets a leg, takes down Van Dam. Sabu kicked off, right back to his feet. This is a wild clothesline. Sabu holds on. Van Dam ducks a second clothesline, misses a spin kick, hits that one. Guillotine kick. Sabu clutching the back of his neck. Scoop and a slam. Somersault splash. Van Dam thrown to the outside. Sabu meets Van Dam coming in. Turns him over. Sabu going up top already. Guillotine leg drop. And Sabu may have crunched his own neck in the process. But goes for the cover anyway. 1, 2, 2 count only. Pops right back up to his feet and slaps on a modified camel clutch. Sabu wrenching back with the camel clutch. Van Dam got his boots intertwined in the bottom rope. Sabu had to break the hold. Now with the single leg Boston Crab. Van Dam reaching back with that broken wrist now for a third time. That's dangerous. Van Dam wrestling with a broken wrist. Sabu wrestling with a bruised tailbone and God knows what else. Despite their injuries, out of respect for the fans here at Extreme Championship Wrestling, out of respect for one another's athletic abilities, deciding to wrestle hurt here. And Sabu just drop kicked the knee of Rob Van Dam. Irish whip in reverse by Van Dam. Sabu trying to land on his feet, landing on his head. Still manages to clip the knee of Rob Van Dam. Both men are down, both men in pain. Sabu trying to set up Van Dam. And a drop kick that sends Van Dam tumbling to the concrete. Up and over goes Sabu. Sabu up to his feet first. Van Dam hits the guardrail, but gets the boot up. Van Dam going for a moonsault off the guardrail, gets shoved into the third row. That's why they call it high-risk offense. And the scientific matchup we had anticipated is breaking down. Got a chair in the ring now. Can you feel this? Can you see this coming? Oh my God! Look at the chair! That's how much momentum Sabu had! Just a reminder, you're watching ECW as if you'd see this type of wrestling anywhere else. Sabu now, what is he doing? He's bridging the guardrail in the ring with the table. Van Dam is out of it. Van Dam still kicking. Oh no! Van Dam rolls out of the way. And Sabu launches himself anyway. Van Dam able to get out of the way though. Sabu slips. And Van Dam capitalizes. Kick right between the eyes. Vicious blow with the chair. Sabu's back now, jammed into the steel guardrail. Van Dam with a kick to the solar plexus. I give up. I don't know what to call it, but Sabu is down on his back. Both men are down. Referee Jim Allen out there as well, asking both men if they can continue. Pretty much a rhetorical question. This is ECW. Sabu rolls back in. Van Dam with the springboard leg drop. Cover. Hooks the leg. 2-end up. And Van Dam looks very frustrated. And justifiably so. What does it take to put Sabu away? That's a start. Van Dam has Sabu's legs tied up now, pummeling his lower back. And into a bow and arrow. Sabu in excruciating pain. Van Dam couldn't support Sabu's weight with that broken wrist, and now he's really frustrated. Van Dam now working on the leg of Sabu. Rob Van Dam attempting anything to put away Sabu. First targeting the back, now the leg. Hasn't been a whole lot of continuity in his attacks. And that's a sign of frustration. And he relinquishes the hold. Oh! Well, that's smart wrestling. If you can ground Sabu, you've taken away about 95% of his offense. Sabu hobbled by Van Dam. Can't even support his own weight. Van Dam with the cover. 1, 2, and no. And did you see Sabu struggling not to have his shoulder blades pinned to the mat? Sabu can't even stand. Van Dam not giving him the opportunity either. Van Dam just picking a shot. Sabu gets the boot up. Great display of power here by Van Dam. Sabu spikes Rob Van Dam. Van Dam waited too long, showboating for the crowd, and paid for it. But Sabu can't capitalize. Using a chair to help him get to his feet. Van Dam now on the top turnbuckle. Sabu's tailbone really beginning to show. Van Dam leaps. Sabu misses. Van Dam misses with the chair. Van Dam wants his chair back. He's got it. Oh my God! Van Dam cleared the ropes completely! Rob Van Dam ripping out a few pages out of Sabu's manual. Van Dam rolls back in the ring. Sabu down on the outside. Rob Van Dam springboarded off the chair, completely cleared the ropes, and hit a picture-perfect somersault plancha. Sabu struggling to get back into the ring. Van Dam waiting for him. Grabs the legs, rolls through, 2 and no. Van Dam slow going to the top and gets caught. Couple of fists between the eyes. Sabu thrown through that table. Now clutching at his knee, at his elbow, and his other knee. He's a mess. Rob Van Dam looking fatigued, still sitting on the top turnbuckle. Misses the double axe handle. Lands in the remnants of the timekeeper's table. Sabu now with a very pronounced limp. He's got another table. What a battle this has been. Combination of mat wrestling, brawling, aerial maneuvers, and just downright extreme violence. And if Mikey Whipwreck earned Sabu's respect in Queens, New York, these two men must have earned each other's respect here at Hostile City Showdown 96. They've earned the fans' respect. I know they've earned... This matchup gets more extreme with each passing moment. Oh my God! When will it end? It may end now if neither man can get to his feet. Jim Molineaux on the floor with both men. Van Dam clutching at his face. Trying to get up. Sabu can barely roll under the bottom rope. Van Dam manages to roll in. Cover. No! 2.5! Two count again! Both men have unloaded everything in their respective arsenals. And still this matchup continues and will continue to a positive finish. There must be a winner. A glancing blow, the clothesline missed its mark, but still caught Van Dam on top of the head. Clothesline misses. German suplex, beautiful bridge, and now! Rob Van Dam going up top once again. A diving somersault neckbreaker, goes for the cover, hooks the leg, and no! Van Dam's thinking, what do I have to do to put this guy away? Sabu's head exposed. Guillotine leg drop. Sabu's gone limp. And that may be the end for Sabu. Slingshot leg drop, hooks the leg, and no! Van Dam goes for lateral press again, 2 count once again. And now the youngster is just oozing frustration. Sabu drives Van Dam's face through the chair. Van Dam fighting back. Sabu trying to set up Van Dam, who is fighting with all he's got. DDT. And now it's Van Dam who appears to be lifeless. 2, no! And now Sabu is frustrated. Cover, 2 again. What an unbelievable matchup. He hit the triple jump moonsault, that's it! Sabu gets the win over Rob Van Dam in what might have been the greatest match in the careers of both men. Both men are exhausted. Both Rob Van Dam and Sabu came into the ECW arena tonight to wrestle hurt. Van Dam with a broken wrist, Sabu with a bruised tailbone, and who knows what else. And they took it to the extreme in a matchup that may be remembered forever. And there's a show of respect by Sabu. This matchup will end only when one man is carted back to the locker room on a stretcher.
Weighing in at
Will it be Rob Van Dam
22 pounds
or Sabu?
From Bombay, India, this is Sabu!
Got some excitable internet fans from all around the country. This feud began after Sabu had defeated Rob Van Dam in their first matchup, and Van Dam refused to accept the handshake, a show of respect from Sabu. They came back in a stretcher match. Van Dam got the Duke. Sabu extended his hand as a token of respect as part of the stipulation. And again, he was slighted by Rob Van Dam. Shortly thereafter, Sabu was caught out in a stretcher, courtesy of Van Dam, who got inside information from Bill Alfonso. And when Sabu beat Van Dam the next time out, both men were carried out on stretchers. The only way to settle this feud once and for all was this stretcher match. Sabu with a drop kick to the knee. Van Dam with a drop kick to the knee. Both wrestlers just feeling one another out at this point. Sabu hits a right hand. Van Dam connects with forearms. We've got a slugfest early on in this matchup. Van Dam taking over on Sabu. Snapmare takes him out of the corner. Van Dam drops the leg. Sabu kicks Van Dam right in the face. Tie-up. Sabu rolls up Van Dam. Going to work on the leg of Rob Van Dam. Remember, no pinfalls, no submissions, no countout, no DQ. This matchup will only conclude when one man has been carried all the way to the locker room on a stretcher. Tie up once again. Van Dam back into the ropes. Van Dam with a very cocky smile on his face. Face first into the turnbuckle goes Van Dam. Irish whip. Sabu connects with a slingshot leg drop. Slingshot headbutt. Irish whip. Sabu ducks his head. Double underhook. And Sabu dropped face first to the canvas. Again, a cocky smile appears on the lips of Rob Van Dam. The slingshot splash broken up by a standing drop kick. Van Dam hits the concrete. Oh my God! Slingshot somersault sentai. Sabu now bridging the ring and the steel guardrail with the table. Face first into the table. A kick right to the chest. Guillotine leg drop across the back of the neck. Van Dam hopped the guardrail and took a chair right to the puss. Van Dam thrown back over the guardrail. Sabu throws a chair into the ring. Chair right to the top of the head. Van Van Dam being set up on the top turnbuckle. Here comes Air Sabu. No. Van Dam breaks it up. Spin kick and Sabu lands on the concrete. Van Dam now working over Sabu. Chair across the face. No slingshot. Van Dam going to the top. Drops the leg. Van Dam calling for the stretcher. This may be the end of this matchup. Damage Control is here with the stretcher. They're putting Sabu's limp body on that stretcher. And he is being wheeled towards the locker room. And Sabu's not ready to go just yet. He rolls back in. Van Dam drops the knee. Trouble. Van Dam now mocking Sabu, extends his hand and drops the leg. Van Dam drives the knee into the back of Sabu. Forearm to the face. Irish whip. Sabu lands, no, trying to land on his feet. Leg sweep by Van Dam. Backflip splash. Van Dam grabs a chair. Drop kick catches Van Dam coming in. Sabu blocks the suplex. And drops Van Dam across the top rope. Van Dam being hung out to dry. There's a chair underneath his skull. Sabu going up top now. He dropped the leg. And now it's Rob Van Dam in trouble. Sabu stopping Van Dam. setting up a chair. Van Dam diving at Sabu. Rolling Arabian facebuster. And a chair to the face. Sabu going up top once again. A leaping Arabian facebuster. Sabu now calling for Rob Van Dam to be carried out on a stretcher. Damage control right there. And that may be all for Rob Van Dam. Sabu's gonna win this matchup. Van Dam is halfway up the aisle towards the locker room. No! No, Van Dam puts a halt to that stretcher ride. He's coming back. He can barely stand, he can hardly walk. This matchup is not over. Clothesline floors Van Dam. Triple jump moonsault connects. Unbelievable. Cover. But this matchup cannot end in a pinfall. This matchup can and will only come to a conclusion when one man has been wheeled all the way to the locker room of the ECW arena on a stretcher. Sabu now setting up Van Dam. Here's Sabu. And Van Dam set himself up. Tried to leap out of the way, but got caught in mid-flight with an air Sabu clothesline. Van Dam's on the stretcher, but I don't think Sabu wants him wheeled back just yet. Sabu has something else in mind, it would seem. Oh my God! The Asai moonsault on the stretcher, and Sabu's shin bounced off the steel guardrail. He may have broken his own leg. Sabu is going to be put on the stretcher. Sabu may have ended this matchup for himself if he did indeed fracture or break his leg and cannot continue and must be wheeled back. It was by his own doing. Sabu obviously in a great deal of pain, clutching at his right leg. And they're going to wheel Sabu back to the locker room. They got Van Dam on a stretcher right behind him. Van Dam's starting to come through, Sabu. Leg drop on the stretcher. Dam, he's headed back towards the ring. Van Dam not done yet either. What courage, what heart being shown by both men. It's this type of matchup that separates Extreme Championship Wrestling from every other wrestling promotion on the planet. Sabu misses. Van Dam does not. Van Dam hits the moonsault press. Both men down on the concrete floor. Van Dam will be back on his feet first, it would seem. Van Dam rolls in under the bottom rope. Sabu right behind him. No, Sabu calls for a chair. He connects. Van Dam set for the ride. Shoulder block. Van Dam being set up for the superplex. Here comes Air Sabu. Reverse victory roll from the top turnbuckle takes Van Dam to the canvas. Van Dam rolls to the outside. Oh my God! Fisherman's Buster through the table! It was the Fisherman's Buster from the second turnbuckle that first sent Sabu out on a stretcher courtesy of Rob Van Dam. This time, the Fisherman's Buster threw a table to the concrete floor, and I would have to think that is the end of this matchup. Sabu will be carried back to the locker room on a stretcher, and Rob Van Dam will get the Duke in his stretcher match. Sabu's out. No, Sabu rolls off the stretcher. He rolled off the stretcher. He wants to continue. Van Dam with a baseball slide. Both feet in the ribcage of Sabu. Sabu thrown back in by Van Dam. Dam just assaulting Sabu with the chair. Nothing fancy about this. Reversal on the Irish whip. Van Dam beats Sabu with a punch. Kick. Van Dam back to his feet first. Sabu blocks the Fisherman's Buster. and hits one of his own. Sabu reverses the Fisherman's Buster. He sets up a chair. Sabu went for the triple jump moonsault. Van Dam picked up the chair. Sabu face first into the steel chair. Both men out down on the canvas. Referee John Finnegan calls for the stretcher, but for who? Sabu's not going. Van Dam with the spin kick takes Sabu over the top rope. Sabu landed on the stretcher. I think they're gonna wheel him to the back. This matchup may be over. Van Dam not done with Sabu. Oh my God, Sabu missed. Van Dam hit the stretcher. Van Dam hit the stretcher. Van Dam hit the stretcher and then fell. The back of his head. But did you hear that thud on the concrete? Van Dam is out. Rob Van Dam is out. They're putting him on the stretcher. Van Dam is out cold. They're wheeling him to the back. Van Dam went for one high-risk move too many. It's over. It's over. Sabu has won the stretcher match. It is over.
Ladies and gentlemen, 24 minutes, 16 seconds. Your winner, Sabu! Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is one of our main events. Ladies and gentlemen, Extreme Championship Wrestling presents the grudge match of the century.
Suplex Machine himself to the ring. The most eagerly anticipated grudge match in professional wrestling history. And make no bones about it, if Taz at any point during this match can lock on the Taz mission, the Kata Hajime, that choke that is so dangerous, it's illegal in judo, but legal here in ECW. And Sabu has hit the ring. Sabu didn't want to wait for his music, for any pageantry. These two men want to get it on. And if you think you know pro wrestling, if you think you're smart, I'll tell you something, these two men hate each other.
And his manager, Bill Alfonso, from the Red Hook section of Brooklyn, New York, weighing at 248 pounds, the human suplex machine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Taz! From Bombay, India, 222 pounds, Sabu!
that attitude in that ring right now. The human suplex machine against the human highlight reel. It's a matchup neither man will accept defeat in. They're face to face, finally. Who's gonna make the first move? Taz slaps Sabu. Sabu fires back. Fists to the face. Running clothesline by Taz. And Sabu is staggered to say the least. Bill Alfonso right in the face of Sabu. Sabu may be going after Alfonso. Taz catches Sabu re-entering the ring. Irish whip reversed by Sabu. Drop down. Taz is going for the Kata Hajime. He's going for the Taz mission. He is going for it all right now. Sabu blocked it. Sabu blocked the Kata Hajime. No one has ever blocked the Taz mission. And what has got to be going through the head of Taz right now? He rolls through. Waistlock now by Taz. Standing switch by Sabu. Taz now with a hammerlock. Reversal by Sabu. Taz cinching up Sabu, going for the T-bone. Block. Drop toe hold. Now into an ankle pick. And Taz is a pure athlete, a fighter with ultimate credentials. That's the polar bear, Paul Varlins. He tapped out. And you have got to know, the longer this matchup stays on the mat, the more it favors Taz. Nobody can match Taz on the mat, hold for hold. Sabu now going after a leg. Taz gets the advantage. Taz putting a bad mouth on Sabu. He's telling Sabu, go for the leg, go ahead, go for it. Taz now with the body scissors and a vicious crossface. Did you see that crossface? He just did it again. Taz, crossface Sabu 3-4 times. And continues to do so. You gotta wonder how many NCAA tournaments Taz was thrown at him for that. And I believe he may have busted Sabu's nose. Taz now hammering Sabu. Oh yeah, that nose is broken, no doubt about it. And now that Taz smells blood, he's just like a piranha. He will go for the kill. Alfonso up on the ring apron. Seems rather subdued tonight. Sabu rolls to the outside. Now he sees his own blood. Sabu back in the ring. Drop kick right to the knee of Taz. Sabu was waiting for the perfect moment and nailed that drop kick. Slingshot kick off the second rope. And now it's Taz rolling to the outside. Taz now on the outside, perhaps rethinking his game plan. Both boots right to the chest of Taz. Taz is ducked over the guardrail into the first row. Sabu's going for a chair. Keep your eye on Sabu. Double jump, springboard plancha. the steel guardrail. Sabu setting up a chair. He missed! He missed and landed ribs first! And just got clothesline over the top! Bill Alfonso is right there! Putting the bad mouth on Sabu! Sabu clutching at his face. It's a fist between the eyes. Sabu firing back. Not too much leverage you can get from your knees, though. Irish whip. Drop toe hold nicely executed. Taz now trying to stretch Sabu. Got a freestyle bow and arrow on him. And hammering down behind the ear. We've got a slugfest. And now it's Sabu! No, single leg takedown by Taz. Sabu trying to go to the guard. Winds up on top, body scissor by Taz. Sabu trying to block it. Taz now with the body scissors and an armbar. Almost a Juji Gatami. Sabu rolls through, but Taz holds on. Sabu trying to break the hold, but those massive legs of Taz just so powerful. Sabu made it to the ropes. Referee Jim Molyneux breaking the hold. Inzaghieri to the back of the head. Taz is down. Sabu with the somersault leg drop. And Taz looks not stunned, maybe even hurt. Sabu going to work on Taz. Slides to the outside, hits himself the chair. Oh, right to the face. Chair and nails Taz in the corner. And he is not done by a long shot. He missed that time. And he just got dropped face first on that chair. He went to the well once too often, and Taz caught him coming in. Cover, 2-0. Sabu still clutching his face. Taz down as well. You are witnessing one of our main events here at Barely Legal Grudge Match. Taz and Sabu. Irish whip. And you could hear that clothesline from any point in this building. 2-0. Sabu kicks out. And right now, Tibet Taz mulling over a way to put away Sabu. Reversal on the Irish whip. He caught Sabu. Dropped him. Nice double leg slam. It's a stomp right to the head. Fancy about that. Nice leverage move by Sabu. Handful of singlet. Taz on the outside lands on his feet. But by no means is he safe. Triple jump springboard. Sabu missed, hit the steel guardrail. Sabu is in trouble. No doubt about it. Taz dragging Sabu around by his hair. Sabu apparently can't even stand. Taz ordering Team Taz to bridge the guardrail in the ring with that table. And that may have been a mistake. Check that. That was definitely a tactical mistake on the part of Taz. It's going to be used against him. Taz going for Northern Lights. Taz Plex on the table. Sabu blocks it. He's going for swinging DDT. Taz threw off Sabu. He blocked the swinging DDT. Sabu went through the table. And now Alfonso is taunting Sabu, telling him to get up, telling him to get back in the ring so his man Taz can finish him off. Sabu is hurt. Sabu is clutching at his neck. He went backwards head first through the table. And Sabu clutching at his neck. Now in a fist fight with Taz. Hammering forearms to the back of the neck. Taz clutching at his shoulder. We knew this matchup would take a toll on both men. Single leg takedown by Taz. Bought himself a few seconds. And they are still exchanging punches. Taz clutching at his massive left shoulder. Uppercut by Sabu. Taz just coming off shoulder surgery just a few months ago. Tries to attack once again. But Sabu cuts him off with a kick. Sabu now setting up Taz for what? Hurricane Rana from the top, that may be all. Two-hander. Taz able to kick out using just his massive leg strength. Sabu ascending the turnbuckles. No, he's up on the ring post. What elevation! Leg drop from the heavens. But what effect did that have on Sabu? Taz unloading the right hand, but takes an elbow to the face. And a pair of fists to the side of the head. Taz, of course, wants Sabu back in the ring where he is so strong, where he may be unbeatable. And there it is. Thought Taz was going for the Kata Hajime. Head and arm Taz Plex, forget about it. If Sabu's neck was not injured, it certainly is now. That's how you compress 5 cervical vertebrae into 3. Taz certainly not finished. Headlock Taz Plex. And those Taz Plexes are devastating. Sabu trying to get outside. Sabu with the reversal. Taz was going for the T-bone Taz Plex. Sabu blocked it and got off the T-bone Taz Plex of his own. Now he's mocking Taz. just found that out. Again, Sabu landed on his head, crunched his neck. T-bone Taz place, there it is. Sabu again dropped on his neck. The attack on Sabu's neck has been relentless. It has been evident. And there it is, the Kata Hajime, the Taz mission. And with the condition that Sabu's neck is in, I don't see how he could possibly fight off the Taz mission. The Kata Hajime choked out Bam Bam Bigelow, 911, Paul Marlins, Chris Jericho, two cuts over. It is over.
Your winner of the match, Taz!
I'm saying, there's the bell. It's time for the Grudge rematch of the century. This matchup, although originally scheduled for a pay-per-view on August 17th, but these two men couldn't wait. Both feet in the face of Taz, cover. Sabu's going for a cover early on in the matchup.
Sabu is desperate to even the score from Barely Legal.
Well, he had better avoid the Kata Hajime as if it were a plague. Taz locks it on, it's over. Shot kick. Two count only.
Every time Sabu gets Taz down, he's going for a cover. He's desperate for a victory.
Sabu now choking away at Taz. Taz grabs a handful of face with the bum right in the eye. The Nerf Alfonso wearing a Monday Night Raw hat to the ECW arena.
Got no class whatsoever.
Hip up. And Taz counter. Now it's Taz putting the boots to Sabu.
It doesn't take Taz any time to even up the score, does it?
Taz has got to stay one step ahead of Sabu because his former manager, Bill Alfonso, who knows many of his training secrets, is now in the corner of Sabu, and vicious cross station going on. Taz looking to break the nose of Sabu again, as he did at Barely Legal.
Taz has taken Sabu down to the mat where he needs to keep him to win this match.
Taz locks in the right hook finger.
And that's what you call a bridge.
Would you believe that man was bridging in that fashion had a broken neck at one time?
I can't even believe he had a neck at one time.
You are watching the most eagerly anticipated confrontation in the history of ECW, and dare I say in the history of all professional wrestling, a Grudge rematch from our first pay-per-view, Barely Legal. These two men couldn't wait for our second pay-per-view on August 17th. They wanted to get it on here tonight at WrestlePalooza. Cross kick to the knee.
That was a smart move by Sabu, taking Big Taz off his feet.
But the knee buckles, he can't throw those Taz flexors.
Exactly. With no knee, he has no balance. With no balance, he has no leverage. And leverage and balance are the two most important things to a mat wrestler like Taz.
Taz trying to walk it off on the outside, takes the baseball slide to the chest. Acai moonsault, and Taz gets sandwiched into the guardrail.
That's what you call a kamikaze move. Both men down, and Sabu began on the offense.
They
Sabu going for the cover again.
But Taz kicks out.
Sabu senses he's got to take Taz out real soon, otherwise he's in deep trouble.
Another lateral press with another 2 count. Hard to tell if Sabu actually wants that Taz feet or if he just wants Taz to return the energy of kicking out. Sabu is going for the triple jump move, going to backfire. Taz has Sabu cinched up. Sabu holding on for dear life. T-bone Taz flex. Then Taz capitalized.
He's got to cover him to beat him.
Sabu can't even stand. Taz says this is it. Sabu trying to fight off the T-bone. Now Taz fighting off the T-bone. Waist lock. Loaded by Taz fighting the bridge. And Sabu pushed away the foot of Taz to kick out.
That's what makes Sabu so dangerous. Not only is he great in the air, but he knows how to counter mat maneuvers.
Taz going up. A fist to the face.
Taz held on. I guess he can counter those aerial maneuvers himself.
Where in the hell is Taz going? No water in the pool. Taz went with a senton splash and miss. Big drop from the heavens.
That was a major mistake by Taz going high.
But he still manages to get the shoulder up.
Taz needs to take Sabu back down to the mat.
Alfonso threw a table to Sabu. Taz has cut off Sabu and lands on the Irish whip. Leapfrog. Waist lock. That was low. DDT. Sabu's setting up the table. Here Alfonso screaming he has been waiting for this.
Benedict Arnold.
He's first to the table goes Taz. And a clothesline. And this is not where Taz wants to be. Sabu switches direction in midair. And puts Taz to the table.
Both Taz and the table crumbled from Sabu's force.
And that may be all for the human suplex machine. Sabu may have even this series. And what? It's the count for today. Sabu flips backwards.
Taz's shoulders were down on the mat. He's got the hold, but his shoulders were down for a 3 count.
Well, the match is over, but Taz isn't letting go of the cut to hide your neck. He's got the leg grapevine as well.
It's like Taz lost the battle, but he's winning the war. He refuses to let go.
I don't think he knows the match is over.
I don't think he cares.
In the corner to my right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sandman! His opponent from Bombay, India, weighing in tonight at 222 pounds, Sabu!
Sabu has been in matches like this all of his career. Not only here at the ECW arena, but all over the world. You scars all over his body. He wears them like a badge of honor. Takes the stick and the two go for the ladder immediately. Sabu drop kicks the knee of the sit. Ladder down across the head of the Sandman. We're less than 30 seconds into this matchup. Face first. The Sandman takes the ladder. Right to the temple of the Sandman. These two made it clear at Hardcore Heaven 97. They're out to win matchups. They're out to eliminate one another from the sport of professional wrestling. That may just happen tonight. We may just be witnessing the end of the career of one of these great ECW stars. Bill Alfonso now holding that chair over the head of the Sandman. The Sandman's throat sandwiched on that ladder, a steel chair across the back of his head, and Sabu drops a springboard leg drop cover. This may be all to it now. Sandman buried underneath that ladder. Sabu going up top with the chair. Arabian face buster. That's how he finished off the Sandman at Hardcore Heaven 97. This matchup may be over already. Lateral press. No, not quite two. Sandman wisely rolling to the outside. Baseball slide sends the Sandman into the first row. Sabu connects. Both been very slow to get up. It's a wonder the Sandman is even conscious. Hair between the eyes. Sabu crawling all over the ECW arena. The bleachers. They're right below our position here. Sandman face first into that wall. Sabu setting up a table. Table, Sabu right up here with us. And drops the leg on the Sandman, flattening that table. unleashes an elbow of his own. Sabu slammed on the stage below, and the Sandman drops an elbow off the ladder. Sandman dragging Sabu around by his hair, sends him face first into the steel guardrail. Firing back. Bill Alfonso has aided his man Sabu by setting up tables all over the ringside area. It is no secret Alfonso and Sabu are looking to put the Sandman out of not only ECW, but professional wrestling here tonight at House Party 98. Sandman's got that ladder. The Sandman just suplexed that ladder on top of Sabu. The Sandman using that ladder as a teeter-totter almost decapitates Sabu. Sandman muscling Sabu over the steel guardrail, suplexes him on those tables, and then drops the leg, driving Sabu face first into the table and the concrete. Alfonso keeping a safe distance from the Sandman. Sandman now bridging the guardrail in the ring with that table. A boot right to the face. Table right between the eyes. Sabu never saw it coming. Sandman crawls back into the ring and drags the ladder out with him. He's ripping the steel guardrail in the ring with the ladder. Sabu gets dropped ribs first on that ladder. There's no getting. You kidding me? Oh my God! He may have collapsed the chest cavity of Sabu. This matchup has become a battle of attrition. I believe the combatant who remains conscious will win the matchup. Sandman drops the elbow. Sandman is going to climb the ladder, the stairway to hell, to get his hands on that barbed wire. Sandman going up, gets stopped by Sabu. Oh, he shakes off Sabu, and the Sandman's going to get hold of that barbed wire. Oh my God! The Sandman free falling from the top of the ladder, some 15 feet all the way to the concrete. Sabu's got that barbed wire. He missed. Sabu missed and hit the steel guardrail. The Sandman somehow saw him coming. The Sandman has the barbed wire now. He's back in the ring. Sabu landed face first into the steel guardrail. May have cracked his jawbone. Alfonso attending to his man, making sure he can continue. You can bet Sabu will continue until he's dead. Blood pouring from the mouth of Sabu. And the Sandman is unraveling that barbed wire and entangling it with the corner turnbuckle. Sandman drops the elbow across the back of the neck of Sabu, who is still clutching at his chin and his jaw. The Sandman continues to unravel that barbed wire. Back to his feet, gets floored yet again. The Sandman goes face first into that barbed wire. The Sandman now with his back to that barbed wire. And Sabu, oh my God, he's wrapping around the head of the Sandman. It's disgusting. Sabu now with a pair of scissors stabbing at the Sandman. Tearing a page out of his uncle, the Sheik's book. And the Sandman's forehead has been ripped wide open by that barbed wire. Sandman tied upside down to the tree of woe with that barbed wire wrapped around his face. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. For the love of God. I'm telling you. This may be the hardest match I've ever had to watch, let alone call. Watching is not wrestling, it's not ultimate combat. Did human as Sabu misses and launches himself chest first into the barbed wire. The Sandman has the Singapore King. He cracks Sabu right in the face with the Singapore King. Canvas, blood pouring out of his face. I'm not even sure where it's coming from. Drops the elbow across the ribs of Sabu. disturbing thing that I have ever seen. It was right here at the ECW, oh my God. It was right here at the ECW arena when Sabu won the World Heavyweight title from Terry Funk and he ripped open his bicep and needed 100 stitches. He crazy glued and Alfonso taped the wound shut. And here tonight, Sabu, suffering a broken jaw during the course of this matchup, has just taped his jawbone shut. Triple jump moonsault. Sabu comes crashing down across the knees of the Sandman. It's not where Sabu wanted to land, but it's a wonder he can even see. Again, Sabu putting that barbed wire across the face of the... Oh my God! Hush has fallen over this crowd, who are just stunned by the mutilation they are witnessing. Sabu going up top with the chair. Arabian facebuster down across the back of the neck of the Sandman, who had that barbed wire digging into his head. Again, Sabu takes the Singapore cane right across the face. There's the cover.
Have we lost power? We blew the generator? We've got a referee in the ring.
And I think we've got ourselves an impromptu match between Rhino and the most suicidal, homicidal, genocidal wrestler of them all, Sabu.
Rhino was the final ECW World Television and ECW World Heavyweight Champion, held both belts. He won that World Heavyweight title on ECW's last pay-per-view in this very building.
"90 days in the hospital, 91 to be exact. They said he'd never wrestle again. He's out here. This is a big night in his life."
Good Lord! Steel chair right to the head! By the way, there are no disqualifications in ECW, and that's why you can't use a chair and pretty much anything else, literally.
This springboard dive, unbelievable. I want to say, Joey, I heard the knocks all through the years. I heard it in WWE locker rooms saying ECW was only about chairs, only about blood, only about tables. We're seeing a different story. The fans are seeing the true reason why ECW remains alive and well in people's minds. This is about a lot more. It's about guts. It's about pride. It's about emotion. It's about people like Sabu putting their bodies on the line for people's enjoyment.
It's about self-sacrifice, and Sabu personifies self-sacrifice. He's broken pretty much every bone in his body. Sabu was looking for that springboard moonsault on Rhino through the table. And as I was saying, Sabu, I've seen him tear open his bicep and barbed wire, which later needed 100 stitches. He finished the match. He took some athletic tape and taped it up. Sabu will sacrifice his own well-being to win a match. And how do you beat a man? How do you beat a man who fears nothing? Nothing.
I've been called the hardcore legend for a long time, and for a long time there's a debate over who is the wildest, who is the most maniacal wrestler.
Come on!
Sabu or myself. And it took me a while to admit to myself that I'm not even in the guys' league, Joey. I'm not sure if I could have continued with 100 stitches in my arm, with a cut that required 100 stitches. I've seen Sabu impaled on a guardrail. I was sure in a match with me he'd never continue. This guy finds a reservoir of guts and pride somewhere deep in his soul that most of us will never have.
And the man beast gets caught going up to the top turnbuckle. Took too much time. Again, underestimated the resilience of Sabu, as everybody does. Sabu now going up top and takes Rhino over. Slingshot leg lariat 2 and no.
You're seeing some moves here, Joey, that Sabu innovated years ago. People have borrowed liberally from Sabu and forgotten to give credit to a guy who was not just blood and guts. He was an imaginative and inventive guy.
Incoming! And Rhino falls throat first on the back of that steel chair. Leg drop off the steel chair. Cover, 2 and no. 2 count only, says referee John Pee Wee Moore. Sabu was going for the triple jump moonsault. Rhino tripped him up and Sabu eats the steel chair.
Great presence of mind by Rhino. Let's not forget this match is not just about Sabu, although I would term his return to the ring as nothing short of miraculous. It's also about Rhino trying to have a career night. It's about Rhino trying to reassert himself.
He just dropped Sabu, throat first on the steel, face first on the steel chair, as a matter of fact. 2 and no. Let's see this again. Rhino tripping up Sabu, face first right to the steel. With the power by Rhino. Drops backwards. Sabu, his head snapped backwards. What a whiplash effect against that top turnbuckle. And as you said, although I don't like the way, here, wait a minute, setting up.
Gore!
Gore!
Pee-wee is down.
Pee-wee is dead. Somebody call his parents. I'm gonna pick up the body. There's the pile driver by Rhino. It's RVD on one good knee. Steel chair to the bush. And I love Rob Van Dam, but he should really get the hell out of the ring.
No, he shouldn't. This is his night. As much as anybody, it's not just his night. It's his dream, and he'll see it through to its conclusion.
I'm just worried about my friend's knee, quite frankly. Oh! And he just skateboarded the steel chair right into the face of Rhino. I got your X Games right here.
Fonzie, get the tables. With all apologies to the Dudleys, you're watching the man who mastered the tables, the man who brought them to America, the man who popularized them, perfected them. Sabu going to the top.
And this does not bode well for the man beast Rhino. Rhino is in the best physical condition I have ever seen him in, but right now, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
With all apologizing to you, oh my God!
Bang, bang! It's over! Arabian Skull Crusher!
the match, Sabu!
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be contested under Extreme Rules. It is for the World Championship.
History in the making here at ECW One Night Stand. The World Championship should be defended in an ECW ring. Here comes the challenger, a former two-time ECW World Heavyweight Champion, Sabu. Taz, you know all about Sabu.
Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps, Joe. I mean, Sabu and I have had battles for years.
I have the utmost respect for this guy, and I actually miss wrestling him. I never thought I'd be sitting calling a Sabu match, but I'll tell you, I'm proud to damn do it. And I hope he wins. There's something about Sabu when you get in that ring with him, man. I'll tell you, you better up your game or he'll take you out.
Representing WWE and SmackDown, the biggest underdog world champion in the history of sports entertainment, Rey Mysterio.
You know, these ECW fans are all holding their ears still. They're not used to pyrotechnics.
I didn't know it was coming either.
Yeah.
Death.
Thanks for telling us.
What?
Scared the hell out of me. Rey Mysterio, you know, back in the day, he was in ECW for a little while. And he gained a lot of respect from a lot of people real quick. Time I kind of felt like it was a shame he left so quick. He got that ECW on the back of that mask, I don't know.
Rey Mysterio is proud of his past, his roots in ECW, but this past Friday on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio turned down an offer from ECW representative Paul Heyman to jump from SmackDown to ECW with that World Championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sabu's got chair in hand. It's kind of hard to see, but I can see it. And I think Mysterio, the world champion, does also. So it's Extreme Rules, man. Break it down.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first the challenger, representing ECW. He is the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu. And his opponent, representing SmackDown, World Champion Rey Mysterio.
Somewhat of a mixed reaction from these ECW fans.
I don't think it was mixed. I think they booed him, Joe.
There's a couple people in front of me clapping, just 2 or 3. 97-3.
You know, I said earlier, Rey was in ECW for a little while. I mean, he had a cup of coffee and then he kind of left, but you know, he did pretty good, but he left. Rey wearing that mask, kind of a little bit of a suck-up deal right there. Nice low single by Sabu.
Sabu comes again. Rey Mysterio takes him down with a drop toe hold, but Sabu escapes the side headlock, comes up with an arm wringer.
This is a dream match, in my opinion. I mean, you know,
in any wrestling fan's opinion, Taz. Sabu versus Rey Mysterio.
I don't know hot about it. I just said in my opinion.
I get excited. You want to?
All right.
We should see aerial offense at its best here between Rey Mysterio, the world champion, and Sabu, the challenger.
You know, some say Rey Mysterio left ECW quite possibly because they didn't want to face Sabu. I don't know about
ECW rules, anything goes, Taz.
Oh, Sabu, he got that look in his eye, man.
Uh-oh, this does not bode well for the world champion, Rey Mysterio. Sabu!
This is textbook Sabu, and Rey's got him scouted. Oh, he caught him.
Sabu was going for the triple jump moonsault. Rey Mysterio with a little fake slowed up Sabu, dropped down. Sabu went for it again, and Mysterio stuck Sabu in with a drop toe.
Sure did, but look at this.
Air Sabu.
Look at Rey, nice.
Air Mysterio launching off the chair with the Hurricane Rana.
There's no denying Mysterio is a world-class international superstar. Here we go.
And a 619 misses here in the 2-1-2.
Uh-oh, Rey's in trouble. Watch chair. Oh!
Hello!
Been there, felt that, not fun.
And a world champion wisely rolling to the outside where he cannot be pinned and lose that world championship.
Welcome back to ECW, Rey. Here we go.
Again, this is the first of our 2 World Championship matches here at ECW One Night Stand. Still to come, John Cena defends the WWE Championship in front of this hostile crowd against Rob Van Dam, who's cashing in his Money in the Bank from WrestleMania.
Again, this is an Extreme Rules match.
Anything goes.
And you know, I mean, right now, guardrail ring, Rey Mysterio on that table.
This does not look good for the World Champion, but looks great to the ECW fans.
Rey moved.
Sabu kind of slowed up when Rey Mysterio rolled off the table.
I think Sabu lost his balance on that top rope.
Well, he was already on the chair. Sabu had no choice. His momentum was carrying him forward.
He might have twisted a knee or an ankle, Sabu, and you never know. And I'm telling you, you never know with Sabu when he's going to crash and burn. It happens. That's the record. That's what Sabu brings. That angst, that tenseness of him. You never know what's going to happen when he's on those ropes.
Sabu has literally been burned. Look at his scarred up, charred up flesh from all the extreme wars he's been in. Barbed wire, explosions.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Beautiful moonsault press by the World Champion. Cover it. No. Rey Mysterio using all of his, 165 pounds, getting all of that weight across the torso of Sabu.
Joe, look, the bottom line, Styles, is we need Rey to lose this match to Sabu, and that that World Heavyweight Championship go to Sabu. We christen it right here at ECW.
Trying to be impartial. If I don't have to, fine. Of course we're rooting for Sabu.
What the hell are you going to be impartial for? Watch out!
Guillotine leg drop. Cover. 2 in. Half a count away from Paul Heyman having one of his 2 wishes come true.
Hey, you know what? Paul Heyman said, one of these 2 titles, either Cena's or Mysterio's, is coming to ECW, and it's going to get rechristened. Hey, man, Sabu's looking pretty good right now against Mysterio.
Sabu with the camel clutch made famous by his uncle, the original Sheik.
You hear the respect. Chance to Sheik right there. The late, great original Sheik. There's another table. They'll just keep flying out, folks. Now, if you've never seen Sabu, man, you're in for a treat with this guy. Oh!
Arabian facebuster steel down across the face of Rey Mysterio. Lateral press, cover to it. No.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I don't know if I'm going out on a limb here or what. I don't think Rey Mysterio has ever dealt with anyone in the ring like a Sabu.
I'll predict right now that the World Championship is going to change hands and come to ECW.
Looks like it's going to happen right about now, my man. Oh, hang on now.
Sabu does just hang on, but that's not where Sabu wants to be.
Uh-oh, watch Rey. Watch out! Oh, my God!
Oh, my God, his wife.
Sorry, I stole your line.
Rey Mysterio taking the extreme to Sabu here tonight at One Night Stand.
Sabu might have. Watch this. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. That's ECW right there.
And we have our first fecal chant of the evening.
Sabu's trying to work out that bicep or his shoulder or something.
Gorgeous springboard seated senton through the table.
The ECW fans, they don't care. Even if it is a WWE guy doing a spectacular move, they respect it. Look at this. How do you not respect what Mysterio did there? Oh, he hit
cover! See Sabu clutching at his throat.
Mysterio is trying to hang on to his world championship here. You know what I mean? He's got to do what he's got to do. Oh, man.
Springboard leg drop that maybe all down across the back of the neck. Come on, hook of the leg.
I think Sabu's hurt, Joey. There's something with that left arm. It's either his bicep, his shoulder, his tricep. There's something up with that thing.
Sabu into the corner. And now Mysterio setting up a chair a la Sabu.
That page out of Sabu's book. Uh-oh. Look at that. Watch out. Oh, nice. Only in ECW will you see stuff like this.
Springboard leg lariat by Sabu. And again, Sabu clutching at that left arm.
He works best hurt. I'm telling you, he does it.
God, triple jump moonsault. The knee right to the face. He's got him. It's it.
Oh my God, how Rey Mysterio's face isn't squished right now is amazing. Watch this, he lands right on his face. Oh, God! Oh, my God.
Mysterio's face, maybe. Oh! Sabu looking for the Atomic Arabian Facebuster. Mysterio had it well scouted.
Mysterio, give this guy credit. He's hanging tough. What a match.
Oh, what a kick by Mysterio.
I think you're right, Joey. The title's coming to ECW. Oh, my God! Oh, man! Like we're going back in time, man. I swear to God. Wow.
Mysterio may have torn both of his groin muscles.
His head almost got split open, too. Oh, watch it.
And this is the last place that Rey Mysterio wants to be right now.
What the hell's Sabu doing here?
Sabu's gonna go for it all.
He'll think of some wacky stuff. Watch this. Look out.
Oh my God!
Well, that was amazing. Okay.
Sabu may have broken his neck.
I'm not sure. Ray's next step. Right, listen in. Both men went down with that DDT.
Come on, Doctor. They go.
Listen, no, they can't fight anymore. No, it's over.
What the hell? Wait a minute.
This is an Extreme Rules Lumberjack match. Introducing first, the Lumberjacks of ECW.
Oh boy. Well, folks, take a deep seat. Batten down the hatches because Extreme Rules essentially means no disqualifications, no count out. Anything goes as far as I know.
And outside the ring are going to be these lumberjacks, these idiots here from ECW, so that if someone is thrown out of the ring, it's their job to throw them back into the ring so the match can continue. Let's describe these guys. Look at his names. Balls, Mahoney, Al Snow, and Head down there.
Some of these guys will spend more time on parole than payroll.
Look, there's Sandman over there. Roadkill, just incredible.
Representing ECW, weighing in at 235 pounds, he is the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu!
You gotta know this. The ECW representatives have passion, and this man has no fear. The nephew of the original Sheik. His body is scarred and charred. This guy is reportedly has glued his own wounds shut after matches. We saw what he did to John Cena last week on Raw.
You're right, he is a walking scar.
A very dangerous man is Sabu.
Scary.
And now, introducing the Lumberjacks for Raw.
Come on, guys.
Well, the Raw representatives will share ringside with the ECW representatives. Either Sabu or Cena are thrown outside. These Lumberjacks' responsibility are to throw that man back into the ring as quickly and as efficiently as they can.
And look at our Raw superstars, guys you can be proud of. Look at those good physiques, as opposed to the ECW, extremely crappy wrestlers over there. We're like the Addams family.
You did not have a good experience at One Night Stand, did you, my friend?
No. Who could? John Cena certainly didn't either. The only time I had a good experience was the first time I invaded that extremely crappy wrestling, and I used that
Sandman's pain on Tommy Dreamer's testicles. That was great. He had to have surgery.
There could be some big-time fireworks here on the outside. Man, we may need reinforcements, security-wise.
And from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 248 pounds, John Cena!
The controversial John Cena. He is a soldier, a blue-collar, hard-hat mentality kid from West Newbury, Mass. That just will not back down. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, folks, that's your prerogative.
I like him.
Well, I got a lot of respect for John Cena.
John Cena's walking into a hornet's nest right now.
And I guarantee you, Cena's not afraid of a damn thing. Little fireworks here at ringside. The Lumberjacks having words. And Cena, Moses-like, about to part the Red Sea here. Big shiner on that eye. Cena got last week against Sabu.
And he was smashed through our announce table right here in front of our eyes.
That was scary, man. That was a scary moment. And Sabu, quick to gain the advantage here.
You can't ever turn your back on one of these extremely crappy wrestlers.
Sabu now stomping away at John Cena. Sabu he has another one of the unorthodox men. Cena thrown to the outside on the ECW side.
Oh, there you go.
And Cena fights his way right back in quickly before he can be physically abused. And Cena now hammering away at Sabu. Hard Irish whip by John Cena. Cena. Fisherman suplex. And Cena now going for the cover. And Sabu kicks out.
It would have been great if Cena could have beat this guy in record time.
Sabu, the former toe.
Put it in. Look out here. To him.
Sabu tossed to the outside. Caden Murdoch throwing him back in. Very quickly doing a nice job there.
Yeah, you wait and see what those extremely crappy wrestlers will do. They're trying to beat the crap out of Cena if he gets thrown out.
Cena reverse elbow. For the cover there. And John Cena got a near fall on the former two-time ECW champion, Sabu. Again, a dangerous man. Nice move by Sabu.
Look what I tell you.
Cena to the outside. Cena getting mugged here. Cena getting mugged. How long does it take the Raw guys to get around there? Good God almighty. The brain trust took their time, and Cena got the hell stomped out of it.
They couldn't get past Viscera. He was blocking the way. Again.
Cena tossed outside against Sabu. Look out here. Sandman, that Kane. Singapore Kane right across Cena's head. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Remember, it's Extreme Rules. There'll be no disqualifications in Extreme Rules. Sabu with that steel chair in the ring. Sabu with that triple jump moonsault. Springboarding off the chair into the ropes. Sabu with a cover. He may know. Sabu able to get a near fall on John Cena. Now Sabu.
What kind of wrestling is this? There's a chair sitting in the ring.
Almost a one-arm camel clutch by Sabu. Hooking the neck of John Cena. Crowd now getting into this thing. All superstars at ringside. ECW in at ringside as well. And Cena driving Sabu. Low blow. Legal, unfortunately. Not condoning it, but it's legal in this environment.
Everything's legal in ECW. But there's no rules.
Sabu doing here. One more time. Sabu with another triple jump. Came down the lip drop.
Uses his entire body as a projectile. Look out.
Look out here. Cena got a cover. And Sabu's weight right on Cena's heart. But as we all know, John Cena's got the heart of a lion.
Watch it, watch it.
Come on, Sabu. Sabu's a dangerous man, let me tell you.
Yeah, who would be dangerous with a steel chair?
The Arabian Facebuster, King. Sabu using that chair, driving it into Cena's face, and John Cena may be out. Sabu may have taken it to the extreme. 1, 2. Oh, that's close. Close.
This is the kind of match that you'll see in ECW. Watch this. Oh, it's great wrestling there.
Sabu in control of these weapons. Not much wrestling, but an extreme fight is what we're seeing here.
I know this is bad, but I guess Cena knew what he was getting into.
No doubt about it. Cena for the contact. Sabu hits that top turnbuckle. Sabu took one too many extreme risks, and that one did not pay off.
Don't worry about your face being rearranged. That can only do you a favor, Sabu. Come on, John, get up.
Sabu has desecrated his own body in his wars.
There you go.
John Cena now. That's fighting right back into this thing. Cena wrapping Sabu up. And what a power slam by John Cena. John Cena taking control here over Sabu.
Hey, wait, we got a fight breaking out on the outside here.
Fighting on the outside. Indeed, it looks like a border fight. Or a prison yard.
Justin Credible was inside the ring and was thrown out on top of the head.
Dreamer, Tommy Dreamer the Sandman. What have Cena's got? Stevie Richards. Richards FU'd on the concrete.
Out to the fans. Wait a minute. Oh, no.
Did you hear that smack of the steel right in Cena's face?
Well, we only heard it, but poor John Cena felt it.
Al Snow. Trying to... Automatic Cena wearing that chair around his neck. And now Cena being physically dissected by ECW. Cena being dragged toward that table set up on the outside.
Can some of you raw guys head over here? Damn it!
Cena being laid out for the kill. Sabu.
Come on, Big Fist. Hey, Sandman. Yes!
Cena off it. Cena avoided that triple jump by Sabu. Got that kendo stick and used it now. How do you like the chair? How do you like me now?
Oh, now it's my turn. Come on, John Cena, get you some.
Well, look at Cena's eyes. Look at those blue eyes. You think he didn't want to whip somebody's ass? If you're ever going to do it, John, it's time to do it right now.
Well, John Cena has been screwed long enough by this whole ECW crap. It's time to put an end to it.
Cena looking to FU ECW Sabu.
Do it.
Cena got it up. Wait a minute. What?
Wait, he's got a better idea, I think.
Cena.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Sabu's back.
Beautiful.
Maybe irretrievably broken. Right off the edge of that table. And now John Cena locking up Sabu. Well, Sabu taps.
Look at all these ECW lumberjacks trying to get in the ring. They're trying to save him.
Sabu taps. Sabu taps. Cena wins. Cena wins.
Here is your winner, John Cena.
John Cena just got extreme with ECW. And how many men can say they made Sabu tap out?
Well, I don't know, but I do know one man. John Cena